Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. What's happening? What's happening, Black?
What's up?
That's my new saying now. You know what I'm saying? I'm always coming through like, what's happening, Black? You know, you got to be old school to know about what's happening, Black. How you doing, good people? How's everybody doing out there in this wonderful, wonderful world? You guys know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, a.k.a. Lolo. All right, guys, coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio. And then y'all know who that is right there. There she go. Bam. It's the one and only Cheryl Morrow, a.k.a. the Hair Oracle, and she's coming to you live and direct from sunny San Diego, California. And so, in case you're wondering, where am I? What planet am I on? You are not on planet Earth, especially if you don't believe the Earth is round. Maybe you're one of those flat earthers, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody thinks that. My brother just hopped in the chat, my big bro, Shan, and he said the world ain't round. But if you don't believe the world is round, you don't know what planet you're on, you are officially on planet Pluto Pseudo. Now, this is a podcast that is specifically catered to licensed barbers, cosmetologists, nail techs, estheticians, natural hair stylists, and of course, in the chat, we have our hair care junkies that are in the chat. So we got a big round of applause for all of our hair aficionados. We are always so glad to see you guys in the chat. We're talking about weekend. Lawana was like, I was in pain. And sure, I was in the chat like, Lawana, I was on my way to your house. Now, mind you, I don't know where Lawana lives, but I probably could drop it in the chat. You know how they say, put your addy in the chat, and I could probably came and find out where you live. But anywho, so my girl LB is in the chat. She's been rocking with us. What's up, Delias? How you doing? So welcome. And of course, we have our wonderful Instagram family is in the chat. We got Buster. I heard Buster was in Cleveland rocking it last night with Missy Elliott and Sierra. I didn't see it, but I have seen Buster in concert, and good Lord, at 8 nickels, he is off the Richter scale. And then we have Jaden Toon. So what's up? The Instagram family always pretty much come through. And then of course we have Facebook is always in the house. So what up, Facebook? How you doing out here? And then YouTube just be. Man, I just love YouTube. You know what I'm saying? YouTube be like, yo, we gangster up in here. So this is our 51st episode, I believe. Let me make sure I'm getting it right. We doing so many, not sure. I can't even. Okay, she said yes. Okay, so we are 51 episodes in, and if you are a licensed professional in all its various capacities, tonight is the podcast for you, because we are about to interview my mentor, I'm talking about, I just love him so much. Mr. Ivan Williams is going to take us through how to grow your barber and salon, your nail salon, your skincare, your esthetician. He's going to give up the grapes on how to grow your business. Now, licensed professionals, you want to take notes. Of course, all of your questions are welcomed, so feel free to drop your questions in the chat, right? And then, of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because last week we had about 57 new subscribers to the channel. So we love it because this is an authentic build. And Cheryl, we got some good news to share with you guys tonight about some stuff that we're doing. So you guys just stick around, and we're going to have a wonderful time. But in the meantime, Cheryl, what's happening in your neck of the woods, Black? You know, since everybody, you know, according to Donald Trump, you know, if you know, he, you know, he's a, you got something, you ain't Black. So what's up, Black?
Right. You know, it's sunny Black San Diego. What else can I say? Man, summer's for kids. That's all I got to say.
Summer's for kids. What you mean by that? What you trying to say, Booski?
I mean, come on now. It's not for the grown and sexy. Fall, winter, and spring is for the sexy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I ain't get that memo.
Heat is for, you know, it's like,
man, I don't know what she talking about. I like it when it be hot and you be all sweaty and you know you just be it's hot, right? When you get an attitude. If you're one of those people when it get hot and then you just get real,
everybody's rushing you. Everybody's rushing you.
Drop a fire in the chat if you just a fire emoji. If you are one of those people, right, that every time it gets hot, then you know what, you get a little attitude. If you're one of those people, then by all means, please drop that in the chat. And so, because I want to see who else. Now, when I was in Africa, you know, it was so hot, man. I'm just here to tell you, sure. Everybody be like, "Hi, it was so hot." You know, man, I'm like, shut up. I mean, you know, if you ain't been to Africa, man, listen, I have not traveled the world, but if you know a place that's hotter than the Gambia, drop 2 fires in the chat.
I don't know if Senegal is hotter than the Gambia. It probably ain't, because at least the Senegal is right there on the coast. Gee.
Okay, so I ain't been too far. I have not been too many places. What's his name? I've been too many places. Remember that? What's his name? Donnie Hathaway. Yeah. You know, I ain't about to mess up Donnie Hathaway. We ain't gonna lose no followers. Kilolo mess around with Donnie Hathaway. But anywho, so y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So tonight again, we're gonna have a wonderful episode, and it's gonna be all about how to grow your salon business. I think you guys are gonna love this one. Cheryl, before we bring in, oops, did you hear that? Did I get you?
I just said we just talking about some business.
Oh, okay, I thought it messed up some. No. All right, so before we bring Mr. Ivan in, can you just kind of just a little, you know, give him a little, you know, glimpse about why is this important that we have this candid. Now, you know, on this platform we get really candid, so we're about to bring Mr. Ivan in a minute, but Cheryl's just going to share with you guys why is it important that we talk directly to our fellow licensed professionals and our natural hairstylists. You know, why is it important that we help them with this? I'm sorry, I got my braces tightened. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in pain. Take it away.
Why is this topic important to speak to our natural hair care providers and cosmetologists? Well, too, a lot of things are changing, and we are an industry, and so it is important that we have a check and balances. We are each other's peers and colleagues, and it just makes change, improvements, expansion, elevation, and participation. This is a performance-based industry, so it's important that we have a congruence, and we have partnership, and we have community. So it makes an industry full and vibrant. So it's important.
All right. Well, without further ado, I want you guys to do what they tell you to do. You know, like in church and concert, you know, all these conferences. Take your left hand, you know, and your right hand, and we want you guys to put them together because I am about to bring in our guest tonight. And by the way, in case you wonder where you guys be coming up with these ideas, we do have our de facto producer. Her name is Esther T. Jones. And so it was Esther's ideal that we bring people in so that you guys can get other school of thoughts, because Cheryl and I, we know everything, but we don't know everything. You know, we know everything, but we don't know everything. And so, without further ado or to do, I don't know which one it is. I'm going to bring in ado. I said that every time. I'm going to bring in my mentor, my dear friend. He is a legend in Cleveland and actually in various cosmetology communities throughout the United States. He's also a veteran. And so, everybody, put your hands together for the one and only, the living legend, Mr. Ivan.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you have a problem.
You know, I got these little sound bites. Here you go again. All right, there he is. There he is, Mr. Wonderful himself. Now, I know what y'all saying. What is Ivanize? So you just stick around, and you're going to learn a little bit more about Ivanize. And so tonight, again, this episode is specifically about how to grow your barber and salon business. And Cheryl just gave a wonderful reason about why we should be having these conversations, especially those of us who are still working behind the chair. Maybe you just open your loft. Big super duper shout out to my colleague Latifa Lala. She's a makeup artist, a cosmetologist. She just opened up her own loft, so she did her good time with us at the Reverence Design Team Hair Salon. So let's give Latifa a really big round of applause. And so she's done some wonderful, wonderful things. And she's like, I'm ready to just go out there and try to make it. And so I do support. I honestly, I know some people are like, I don't like lofts. Well, tonight we're going to talk about that. And so Ivan is going to help us understand we need to be supportive of our brothers and sisters in the lost. We cannot leave them out there. They do need us. So Ivan is going to help us kind of navigate through that. Okay. So again, big ups to my homegirl, Miss Latifa, and to her new suite. What's up, Leisha Lady? Come on now. How you doing? We got a new cousin. Hold on, Mr. Ivan. When our cousins come through, we got to make sure we get them super duper shout outs right there. So welcome. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There it is. We'll be getting on it. One day, Ivan, guess what? We're going to have an actual whole crew. Like, we're going to have our own production. You know what I'm saying? But for right now, big ups to StreamYard for allowing us to do that. So, Ivan, we had a little conversation in the back chat about how this goes down. So, every week here on Planet Pluto Pseudo, what I like to do is go over to Instagram. I mean, over to TikTok, right? And I pick these reels to irritate Cheryl. Because Cheryl, she does not work actively behind the chair, you know. And so these reels are really to just bring about laughter and to show humor and hair and just the school of thought and popular opinion. So today we have two good reels. And so, Ivan, I hope you like to be full of laughter, like how you are when you and I are together, and you're just doing your wonderful thing called mentoring. And we talk about you guys need to have mentors. So here's my proof that, you know how they say, source up, source up. There's my mentor right over there, Mr. Ivan. He's been mentoring me now for probably maybe almost 20 years, Ivan. I've been in business for 25.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. He's been rocking with me, and we'll talk about what that looks like in real life. So let's get ready. You ready, Cheryl, for your first reel? Cheryl, like, no. Okay, chat. Y'all better get ready because this one is good. It's all in fun, and it's about real good hair, like Ivan. See how Ivan got that good hair? All right, guys, come on Instagram. What's up? What's up? Facebook, come on YouTube. We are about to get real with some real good hair. Here y'all go. Get ready. Real good hair.
I felt like a Spanish, like a Puerto Rican in this hair. I felt Puerto Rican. Y'all know I love me some Puerto Rican. I felt Puerto Rican in this. Rican. Ooh.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
He said, I feel Puerto Rican. Did y'all see that baby hair?
Did the mother round brush it?
I'm sorry. The baby was looking like, what
y'all doing to me?
The baby was looking like, this is how the baby was like this. Look, Cheryl.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, Lord.
That baby, he was like, bitty, 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 bamba. All right, you know, the baby was looking real cute now. Okay, hey, I was up on TikTok almost peed in the bed.
Pronounce it correct. It's Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. Bitty, 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 bamba. I'm real Puerto Rican, okay? So that one was pretty good. All right, so this one, this is the real headbang. Remember that song? It's the headbangers. The headbangers. Y'all know y'all go to the mosh pit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just saw headbangers jumping off. So this one, I think you guys are really going to appreciate this, especially on Instagram. Hey, Mr. Ivan, you have a fan on Instagram. My homegirl, D West and Company, Miss Denise West, over at Shaw High School and the owner of Signature Hair Salon. She said the amazing Ivan Williams. I keep telling y'all, Instagram be coming through for us, don't they, Cheryl? Okay.
They do.
So big ups to Denise West. She said the amazing Ivan. So you guys already know I'm not alone, okay? I don't want y'all to think I'm just jocking him. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this one is a real head. You guys get ready. A real head banger. Come on in and have fun with us tonight. A real headbanger.
What is that? Theory, what are you doing? Theory, what are you doing?
My scalp itches.
Then why don't you scratch your scalp?
I am.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Did you see the dog? The dog was like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That dog was like, and y'all call us dogs?
Oh, God.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. When I first saw that, I said,
I thought there was some housework. I thought she was hanging something on the wall.
I said, why they keep exploiting, the mentally ill?
Oh, Lord.
Woo. She was like, Beyonce, pat your weave. Pat your weave.
Baby.
Now, in real life.
Please. That does not deserve conversation.
Guess who is in the chat? I want everybody to stand up. I want y'all to put y'all hands together and give my brother Maurice Smith a super duper standing ovation. All right, my bro Mo, he was very ill, very, very ill. I'm telling y'all, he was ill. My brother was in the hospital yesterday, said ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm going to be all right. So, bro Mo, I am so glad to see you. He's looking real good. He got his little beard. I would take a picture, but I don't want y'all to be asking my brother out for no date. So, Maurice, everybody prayed for you and they loved on you, and they're so glad that you're doing better. And he promised me that he was going to come in the chat. And there's my brother. He calls him McFly. That's my other brother, Sherion Smith. So my two brothers, I keep telling y'all, I got the bomb family. So Cheryl's putting her hands together. That means another hand clap for my big brother, Maurice Smith, is in the chat. I know he likes, stop that, Dosha. Just cut that out. Quit playing, Dosha. Quit playing. All right. So enough of that good stuff. So we have Ivan Williams with us. And again, tonight, it is all about how to grow your business. So, Ivan, everybody knows that you're my mentor. He's also featured in the narrative. So if you want to see Ivan a little bit more up close and personal, you can check him out. He is definitely in our documentary, The Narrative. And it's the truth about Afro hair. And it's centered around Cheryl's dad, Dr. Willie Morrow, and just the plight of Afro hair is what that documentary is all about. And So, Ivan, tell everybody a little bit about who you are before we get into this topic of how to grow your business.
Well, my name is Ivan Williams, as you have stated, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, the best location in the nation. I did the majority of my in-salon hair work in New York. I had a beauty center in New York. I mentored under a great stylist, Walter Fontaine, who did the hairstyles for Superfly and Shaft's Big Score and Cotton's Comes to Harlem, among other things. So I apprenticed under him, and I believe in apprenticeship. And after I apprenticed with Walter, I had a business partner. We got together and we opened a beauty center on 57th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue in New York. And it was a smash for at least 20 years, if not more. And then I went on into some other ventures, but basically that's who I am.
Okay. I think that's an absolutely wonderful who you am, and it's very, very impressive. Now, what I want to know is what you're saying is a man did Ron O'Neal's hair for the movie Shaft?
No, Superfly.
No, Superfly. I'm sorry. Cheryl, look at Cheryl. Throw a brick at me. I'm sorry. Let me repeat that again. Go ahead. Boom. There it is. So a gentleman, a male hairstylist did Mr. Ron O'Neal's hair for that movie?
Absolutely. It was actually Walter Fontaine has screen credits for the hair for Superfly, along with Webster McKnight, who worked for Walter at Quaff Camp. And Walter had a superstar hair lineup of hairdressers. Webster McKnight, John Atchison from John Atchison Salon, Andre Douglas, the designer of It's a Wig and the Naomi Sims collection, Joey Mills, a great makeup artist. But when they came to Walter about Superfly, and actually Superfly is a Cleveland movie. The producer, Phil Fenty, is from Cleveland. Ron O'Neal, Nate Adams, the clothing designer.
Wait. Hold up. Ron O'Neal is from Cleveland? And we have some pimp shit for real, Cheryl? Should have never told me that.
Yeah, Ron O'Neal is from Cleveland, Ohio.
How many people in the chat knew that Ron O'Neal is from Cleveland, Ohio? The you wonderful actor, the legend himself. Superfly was pretty influential, not only in fashion but in hair. So as we talk about how to grow your salon business, your barber business, your beauty business in general, we have Mr. Ivan Williams giving us a little known Black history fact, and that is a stylist by the name of Walter Fontaine, and I forgot the other gentleman's name. They're responsible for the look. Now, one quick question before we hop into it a little bit more. Was Ron O'Neal's hair relaxed, or is that a press and curl?
Well, Ron O'Neal, his hair was relaxed, and actually he had a little bald spot right in the front, so they took and put a little piece right in the front of his hair so you get that fluid look, but Superfly, One Night in America, everybody had an afro, a dashiki, a power medallion, and was talking about Right On Brother. When Superfly came out, the next night, not the next week or the next month or the next quarter, the next night, everybody had straight hair. They had platform shoes, maxi coats, instead of power medallion Coke spoons, and was talking about what's happening, my man. So it just, and it's so ironic that at the time, we were doing natural hair. And if you ever look at a picture of Walt Frazier from the New York Knicks sitting on his Rolls Royce out in front of Madison Square Garden, that's Superfly with natural hair. So they took that look, because that was what fashion comes from the street. So that was what was happening in the street. Walter just took and straightened Ron's hair, and it just blew the roof off the sucker.
Wow, to the roof off the mother, to the roof off the mother. Now, Cheryl worked in the hair, she worked in New York as well. What is it about the business of hair in New York? I don't want the typical, it's the fashion capital. Okay, so Cheryl, I'm gonna pass this one to you, and then Ivan, I want to know if you agree with Cheryl. But what is it about New York that they just have this flair, this something that comes out of New York that everybody just wants to follow or go there? What is that? What is that New York? Cheryl?
Well, you got Madison Avenue, which is magazines, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
you
can
got
hear
the fashion
you.
Right. But you have I think the difference is not just the fact that you have fashion there. You have the media there. You have Madison Avenue, and then you have all the bubbling other different pockets of culture, which is Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Harlem, Staten Island, and across the bridge, Weehawken, New Jersey, New Jersey. But it's all of the industries are there. And right there, probably right above Hell's Kitchen, you got ABC, CBS, NBC. And then you got Rockefeller Center. All of the media is there, and so it's very easy to matriculate right into those kind of bubbles. Okay. Because in fact, when I left San Diego, I went to work to Brooklyn, and I landed in Naomi Sims' salon with James Harris, and I'm sure you. Yeah,
Wow. Did you see that? We didn't even plan this, guys. So here it is. Cheryl landed right into where Ivan, helped flower and blossom that entire part of New York. So Ivan, what is your take on what makes New York, as Curtis Blow and them would say, you got to have a lot of heart to live in New York. What is it about New York that just makes it so you get this Ron O'Neal, you get so much that you just don't get out of Cleveland and Kansas, Chicago, what is it? Do you agree with Cheryl that it is the media, the hub of all of this diversity, or do you see something different?
No, I agree with all that she said. It is the media capital of the world, basically. And so whatever it is that you're trying to do, like when I was in New York, hairstylists were superstars. You had people that, and they conducted themselves that way. Like if you take, for instance, in a Vidal Sassoon salon, the guys wore suits and ties, and they said, well, what if you get some color on your suit? They say, throw it away, buy another one, and write it off and keep it moving,
Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
They said, what if you get some color on your suit? They said, throw it away and buy another one. That right there, Cheryl, that's a... So let the bomb drop on that one, because that's right there. I wasn't ready. I don't know if hairstylists is balling like that. Well, some might be. Okay, if you're a hairstylist and you're gonna throw that jacket out, you know what Ivan's talking about. Drop a shirt emoji or whatever you in the chat. But sure, you were gonna say what?
No. Who was that other one that always had a beige suit and red tie? Who was that one? Hair Fashions East, right there on Park Avenue South.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Hair Fashions East was a really big time salon. Yes.
They did
I can't think. I know who you're talking about, but I just can't call it.
Okay. All right. So New York. Now as we talk about how to grow your business, already you can see Ivan and Cheryl are coming out the gate saying there's something about the location that is definitely going to play a very pivotal role in how you grow your business. Now, we're not going to say if you're going to fail or succeed because they didn't say that, but there is something unique about New York that gets it going. So what I'm going to do, Ivan, is I'm going to play a clip about 3 ways to grow your salon business. Now, this guy is a hair salon coach, and so pretty popular, okay? And so we're going to start off right there. Now, if you are in the industry, please take notes and drop your questions in the chat because Ivan definitely has the experience. And I just want to, how they say it? I just want to testify, okay, that Ivan is the real deal, Holyfield, that I know for a fact that him being my mentor, exponentially my career, all of my colleagues who have been able to reap the benefits of Ivan, we are all much better. So let me play this clip, Ivan, and we're going to talk about, hop right into it, 3 ways to grow your salon business.
Hey, I'm Richard, the Lifestyle Salon Coach, and I want to show you 3 ways to grow your business. There are only 3 ways to grow your business. 1 is get more clients in the door, work on your marketing, and make sure you get new fresh blood inside your salon. 2, get these clients to return. One of the hardest things we're finding right now is client loyalty, so getting the clients to return is a good thing. And of course, the last but not least, 3, get clients to spend more. Work on your consultation, work on your client journey, work on your retail.
All right. So he's talking about these are the only 3 ways. Number 1, you got to have some good, marketing and a good crew. All right. Number 2, he says you got to work on, getting more people in, and then number 3, you got to sell them stuff. Now, I get that, but we never get how is the operative word in this. Now, so by the look on your face, I take it you're not impressed with those 3 suggestions, or are you?
Well, no, the actually, until you mentioned it, I didn't hear what he said, but I heard what you said.
Oh, okay.
And you need well, you do need a team. That's for sure. And then from there, you need to build a clientele. And a lot of that has to do with marketing. What is it that you're selling? So let's just take, for instance, you were talking about natural hair. And there's a thing going on about relaxers. It's funny that I saw the lawyer on TV talking about suing the industry for hair relaxers, but his number 1 guy is Al Sharpton, who got the coldest hair relaxer going today. So what are we talking about? What he's really saying is, don't try to go to the CVS, to the drugstore, and do it yourself. Go to a professional. There are certain things that you need to do yourself. You're working together as a team, you and your stylist. You're with your hair more than your stylist. So you have to have a home hair care plan. So if you're doing something, let's just say like the relaxers or whatever, there's certain things you need to do at home, but you definitely need to go to a salon. Salons need to have release forms for the relaxer. You just not just, if you're acting like the person who's the kitchen beautician, then what are we talking about? But you need to have release forms. You need to have consultations and all of that. So and we had a thing we called defrisage. And defrisage? Yeah, I hear people today talk about silk presses. Well, one of the things that blew up our salon, we had a promotion called Defrisage.
Is that DEFRISAGE?
That's right. Do it
Oh,
with Defrisage, right? Now, what we were doing, because people transition in and out of from natural hair to relaxed hair, but a new client coming in, you should not ever give this person a chemical treatment unless they've been to you at least 3 times, just for basic, let's see what your hair does, cut off the dead hair, shampooing and conditioning, and all of that. There's a lot of steps you get to before I'm going to relax your hair. I'm going to color your hair.
all right. Okay. All right. So let's back it up. Let's back it up a little bit. Now, you said in order to grow your business, you need to have a team. So we're going to have to talk about this in two aspects. So one, you do have the salons that they trying to build. They got to have a team. But now you have this new buzzword called solopreneurs, where people are now in the lofts. So before you get into the how you actually grow your team, what is your thoughts for people who are in those spaces? What do you have to say to them? Because a lot of people are anti lofts and suites. So I'm not, but what is your position on salon lofts and people going into the suites? And what do you say to them as well?
Well, if you have, like, let's just say, what do they call them? Booth rentals. Remember when salons had booth rentals, right?
Right.
I was basically anti-booth rental until I ran across a salon that did that, but they acted like a family. So it wasn't your normal booth rental kind of thing. They were not family, but they acted that way. They were a team. So, but when you talk about these salon lofts, and we're talking to professionals now.
Yes,
so
we are.
My thing is that it is better to give than it is to receive, right?
Meaning?
So if you have a salon loft and you are the only person in there, what you owe is to some young person who's coming into the industry to be your personal assistant. So now you have 2 heads, 4 hands, 4 feet, and whatever. So you have this person that's working with you. That's team. Where there are 2 or more together is a formula. So a team is 2 or more together. So you take this person, and this person is going to assist you, but they're also going to learn from you. So if you have a salon loft and it's just you need to bless some person. That doesn't mean don't pay them, but that you need to bless some person to assist you, because they may go on further and further. Like I was telling you about Webster McKnight in the Superfly movie, and John Atchison, who is famous for haircutting with the John Atchison salon and all of that. All of these people came out of Coif Camp Splinters and went on to open their own businesses. But if you are a good person, you say, this is the person that taught me. That's how Vidal Sassoon got so great, because everybody who left him and went somewhere else said that Vidal said, they mentioned Vidal Sassoon. So if you're just a one person operation, you owe it to yourself to bring a person in and mentor them.
All right, okay. Now let's go. Oh shoot, Danny done blessed us. Did you see that? Look at that, Cheryl. Bless the person. Can we give Danny Michael a big round of applause for the super chat? This is not our goal here, but Danny, we appreciate you so very much. There it is. Loving the conversation. Now, Cheryl, I want us to kind of go back to this whole team and everybody helping out, because right now in the barber and the beauty industry and nails and makeup, there's a complaint. Let's just keep it real that there's not enough of what Ivan is talking about. So can we just, because we're saying build a team, and then if you're by yourself, please pay it forward, okay? But you have two things. Well, I ain't gonna say two, I'm just gonna cut through the chase. I ain't got no money. I ain't got enough to be trying to do what y'all trying to say do. So how are people to build the team that you and Ivan and the gentleman are just always talking about? Help the salon owner, help the loft, the person who's in that suite by themselves. Just give them a couple of tips of how they can do it, because they are truly feeling, I'm barely paying this loft rent myself. How can I give back? I just opened up the salon. These stylists are lazy, and y'all on this dumb podcast, America's favorite podcast, that is, about Afro hair, and you guys are saying, give back, build a team. How, Cheryl? And then Ivan, you'll take it after Cheryl. Thank you, Danny.
Thanks, Danny. Let me just say this. A salon loft is to replace roof rent. It doesn't replace a salon business. And I think that is the kind of difference, that it's a small line between what he's talking about in terms of everyone, because Mr. Fontaine had built up a considerable name. The brand of the salon was known. Okay. So when you are marketing a actual salon business, it is the whole building. It's the chairs. It's the style. It's Mr. Fontaine's name. It's the whole allure. So when stylists come in, they're riding in on that, right? And you're not just trying to survive basically on your own in that one person operation, because the problem is that when you are solo, you have to worry about bills and you have to worry about clientele. So when you say how to build a business, you have to kind of figure out which one are you speaking about, your clientele. And I know that most people are talking about that when we say that. But building your salon business is usually the responsibility of who that particular entity, that brand. Hair Fashions East was a brand, right?
Okay, all right.
Right.
Okay.
And
all
so,
right. Go ahead.
No. And that is that line of demarcation, no pun intended, but that is basically what the difference is. Because when most people say, I want to grow, they're only talking about clientele. That's an individual.
So are you agreeing with Cheryl that to a lot of salon owners, growing a business is, and to the people who are in the loft, they are talking about growing a clientele? Do you agree with Cheryl? That's what they're talking about?
Yes. When the word business is bigger than the word beauty. This is the beauty business. Right. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And the reason that today you don't see it the way it was in the past is because we're not together. And when you bring a person in, this is my whole concept. I don't care what you know. When I bring you in, I'm not training you to do hair. I'm showing you how to run my business. This is why you need to be here on time in the morning. Don't come in here a half hour late. We opened at this time. You need to be a half an hour earlier to be here. This is why we book appointments the way we do. This is why we do. I'm going to show you how to run my business, and hopefully futuristically you'll have your own business, because that's what I want you to do. But by the time I show you how to run my business, by the time you get to the shampoo bowl, you know a lot already.
So what you guys are saying, to all of us licensed folk, you know, who have these hair salons and these lofts, excuse me, there is a distinct difference between when you say how to grow your business, building a clientele and running a business are two different things. And we
Right.
see therein lies the problem with the industry. And Ivan, you're saying back in the day, um, the business came before the clientele building process. Is that
And
what you guys are saying?
most of the salons in New York, you could be God's gift to hairdressing. But if you came into Hair Fashion Z, say for instance, you couldn't just get a chair and start doing hair. You had to go through their system to see how they're running their business. By the time you got to a chair to actually touch a human being, which is another thing we need to with AI coming in, this is a touch business. We can't let them come up with something that touches better than us. So by the time you get to the point where you can touch a person, you know, we've gone through so many steps in the business before I would ever let you pass me something to do something. There's some things that you need to know.
All
I
right, now hold on. Now you were sure y'all kind of bougie. First, last week we had Mr. Renato Jerome, and now we have Mr. Ivan. Now, how many licensed professionals in the chat agree with what Ivan and Cheryl is saying? That number one, it's a distinct difference between when you say how to grow your business. That clientele building and business building are two different things. That's number one. Number two, do you agree with Ivan that before you can even touch a person's hair, he doesn't care how talented you are, you still have to go through the culture of that particular salon or loft, whether you're a barber, a nail tech, all of this applies. How many people agree with what they are suggesting? I'm a little nervous because people have children and they got bills to pay, and y'all standards are these high standards, or am I a sucker? Which one is it, Cheryl?
Let me just say this. When you talk about great businesses or salon or beauty businesses, you are talking about these businesses that have been around for 25, 30, 40 years, 50 years, maybe 60 years, right? And so I agree. And once you build, every company or any business has a culture. And he's talking about once you come to that culture, there is a set of expectations and services and processes, all to just give the client an experience. And you have to adapt to that way that James Harris would have me come in, even down from uniform, all the way down to how you speak and how you approach the receptionist, and how you go from there into the retail section. And there's a whole learning curve. And I think that is what the solopreneur is missing. They're missing
All right.
much.
Okay. So we have Latifa. What's up? Welcome in the chat. We gave you a super duper big congratulations. Latifa is over on Instagram, so we want to give her some flowers while she's here right quick. Everybody, let's put our hands together for Miss Latifa. She's in the chat, my colleague. She's took the big Nestea plunge, and she's going to. I am still going to continue to support it. Podcast is for the licensed professionals in all aspects of the hair and beauty industry who's trying to grow their business. Now, Danny is saying that what you guys are saying is making a lot of sense. All right. So we're kind of, now this is very different. I did not think the podcast would go this way. So you're saying that the business has to be in order. And so Danny is saying that's true because it generates another level of professionalism and respect to the public. But are you guys missing that something has changed in the public and how they view a salon, a barbershop visit, when they come to get their makeup done or their nails? It's not quite as organized, is what you guys are saying. So what do you say to those professionals who are like, I don't have a clientele who would, having the business in order generates another level of professional respect from the public when the public is saying, do you have an app? I want to make it, there's a shift, guys. So how do you help the younger people who have a new type of a, customer than what you guys are talking about back in the 70s, or am I joshing you guys? Ivan?
Well, when you go to beauty school, they don't teach you how to do hair. I used to be a state board examiner in New York, but they don't teach you how to do hair. They teach you how to pass the state board. That's why after you graduate, you need to find somebody as soon as possible to apprentice with to move on to the next phase. And there are stages and levels to this. This is not about God's gift to hairdressing. This is about systems, teamwork, and getting that money. So there are certain things you have to put your ego aside for the greater good. We just finished watching the Olympics, and Tatum, who played for Boston, won the championship, was the highest paid player in the league, but in the Olympics, he was the 15th man. But he was as important as the first man. He could have sat there with his lips poked out and whatever, and they could have came home with the silver. So I'm just saying, all games are the same. The same game that they play on the basketball court is the same game that they play in business, on Wall Street, at the White House, at the Pentagon. Once you know one game, you know all the games. So what you have to do is, when you're building a team of people, and like I said, where there are two or more together is a team. And once you start to put that team together and everybody's on the same page, first of all, you could do a whole media blitz in New York and not get the same results as word of mouth. You need to go over there because they take care of you. It's not a whole lot of, it's about you. It's about Cleopatra. We're getting ready to have a new Cleopatra now, modern day Cleopatra. Her name is Kamala. And she's going to win the House and the Senate and the presidency. And she's going to be the most powerful Black woman on the planet.
Hold on. Wait a minute. That's right there. Wait a minute, sir. I got to get this hand clap on that. Hold on. She's about to be the president of the United States. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the thing is about image. Before she steps out on wherever she gonna do that day, I guarantee you somebody gonna be doing her hair, her makeup. She's gonna have styles for her wardrobe and out there, because she has to present herself a certain way, and it has to be in a timely manner. Can't be all day because I got to go over here and talk to Russia or something like that. You have to look at these things and make sure that you and your team. I used to do award shows, the Grammys, the American Music Awards, and all of that. And I would tell my team, because I went with my team, and I told them, everybody that you ever wanted to meet in life is going to be right in here in this building. Now, but what we're here for is a job. Now, if I catch anybody over here with Rick James or whatever it is, and you're supposed to be over there and all of that, I'm going to send you home and let you go see if you can come in the front door and be where you are now. There's going to be a party after this, but there's work. And the only way you can get it done is that you have to be on a team. I had a young lady one time that I trained, and she was a New Yorican. And she, at the end of our training session, I said, are there any questions? Anybody have anything they want to say? And the young lady put her hand up and she said, one of these days I'm going to be better than you. And everybody in the room went, ooh, because they thought she was dissing me, right? I looked at her. I said, when is that going to be, baby? I need you tomorrow to be better than me. I need everybody in this room to be better than me. Now, let me tell you what that takes. I was not offended at all. My sentiment to her was, hurry up and get it.
All right. So now this is a very different type of a conversation for how to grow your business, because a lot of emphasis is truly put on building clientele, and there's not enough emphasis being put on focus on your business. So now you have given a clear distinction between growing your clientele and focusing on your business. What would be the next step for that salon owner and that loft owner? Like they're renting the space, and so now, okay, I gotta focus on the business part. What are they to do? Because the thing about the beauty and barber industry is that everybody sees it as the cash cow, that you can get this money so fast because all you have to do is, and you fill in the blanks. So how are they to resist and not do that? Like get the cash, and go to the next, skip the business step? Yes or no?
If you are a business person, are you talking to me?
Yes, Ivan. Yes.
Okay. If you are a business person, and you mentioned earlier in the broadcast about a nail tech who just opened her business and whatever. She's probably fired up and whatever, but right. you can go and open your business tomorrow, and the only person in there is you. So, and then when you're talking about, like we were talking about, having a personal assistant, now you got to think about how you're going to handle that whole situation. So a business owner, to be a business owner, that's 24/7. If you're an employee, that might be 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays off, holidays off. But you could see a business owner, and a business owner could be laying down asleep with his eyes closed. You say that person is asleep. I guarantee you, if they own a business, they are not asleep. They are at least dreaming about it. So what you have to do is you have to start right where you are with nobody in there. So what does that mean? We were saying before about teaching hair. That might be stocking products. You need to know about what did we just order? What do we have on hand? What are we using, and what do we need to reorder? You need to know that.
But Ivan, I just opened my business. I don't have any money for retail. You're ahead of where a true starving artist. I did see that in the chat. You got some starving artists, and maybe they don't have any money to sell retail. So now
I'm not talking about selling retail. If you're going to shampoo and condition a customer, you need shampoo and conditioner. And you have a supply area where you put that. You don't just put it anywhere. You need to be able to go get stuff. So if you opened a business and you don't have any supplies to work with, I'm not talking about anything to sell now.
Okay, all right.
I'm talking about supplies to work with, then you're not in business. Or if you don't have soap and water to clean your salon, cleaning your salon is as important as cleaning somebody's hair.
Right.
So you have to start right in the beginning. Like I give you people who work on percentage, for example. I think a real good percentage is 50-50. Somebody say to me, Ivan, your 50-50 is not 50-50, it's 60-40. No, it's not, it's 50-50. If I am supplying everything, I'm supplying the towels, the shampoo, the conditioner, the relaxers, the colors, I clean everything or whatever it is, I should be able to take 10% off the top just for that. and then we split the rest 50-50. So it looks like it's 60-40, but it's 50-50 because you came in, it was already ready.
Right.
So once they come in, their whole thing is to pay attention, because if you're doing it right, you should have people who are waiting for one of your slackers to go so they can have their chair. You should have a line of people waiting to come in there to work for you.
Okay, now let's back up a little bit because you're getting a little dreamy here. All right, so they have some customers, right? And they're doing what we're just going to jump ahead. We have a salon, we have a loft, and they have the customer, right? They did that customer. They now know the difference between business and building clientele. They got the product, they got the customer in, but guess what, Ivan? Guess what, Cheryl? They don't have another customer. They don't have enough people. What happened to the person whose hair or nails are cut that they just did that nobody comes back through the door? Help them with that. Cheryl, you go first. Why is no? I did tell somebody. I told my friend about you, and you're sitting in the loft or the salon like, I ain't got no people.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. That particular person, and if you are in the audience and you are listening to this, you are not ready for solopreneur.
Oh, come on, y'all. How many people agree with that? Oh my God. I'm gonna put the hand clap. Y'all, these two, woo-wee, Cheryl, you, Renato, and Ivan, man, y'all some gangsters here. I'm gonna give you guys a round of applause, but let me repeat that again. How many people in the chat agree with Cheryl that if you do not have the retention where people are coming to you, that you're not ready? Yes or no? And can you, Ivan, define what does that mean? Like, how many people would they have to have coming before you guys say they're ready? And then Cheryl, let's see how many people you think. So Ivan, you go first. How many people do they need to have in order? Because y'all say they ain't ready. I think, y'all kind of hardcore, man. Y'all ain't playing out here. How many people should they have then, Ivan?
If I woke up one day and said I wanted to open a business, I wanted to put my money behind a business, and I actually opened the door, and I have 30 days from the day I open the door before the rent is due again, or the lights and the water and all of that. So I have to be ready on day one. I can't say, well, I got a couple of dollars, I'm gonna open up a business and hope that I'm gonna get 25,000 people today. No, it's a process. So if I open the door today, I'm gonna have at least one customer, at least one. And from there,
one. Okay.
So, and then from there, I'm gonna have 2, 3, 4. It's gonna build from there. And once I build it from there, then maybe I'll be able to get an assistant or whatever it is. But if you open the door and you don't have any idea where you're going to get a customer from, you should have saved your money and whatever and waited. And you work for somebody until you see how it goes and you get the money to do that. So if you are a one-person operation,
yes,
and
sir.
you just get, and let's just say, and I'm going to stick with that personal assistant deal, right? And other assistants in there, but at least one. If you did a customer, let's just say you had 3 customers a day, your mother, your father, and your sister,
right,
and your brother. You had 4 customers, right?
Okay.
Then that means, and you're in a studio,
right,
and you did that person's hair.
Okay.
So whatever you did, there's a cleanup after that. There's a reset for the next person, right?
Right.
If you have another person, at least one person working for you.
But remember, you got 4. But what about the people who don't have another person?
What?
They don't have another customer.
I didn't hear that.
What if they don't have another customer? I opened up my business and I have 3 people that came in this week. You're giving a scenario of somebody who had 4 people. What if they don't have? This is a real live situation here. I
If,
rented
if
a
I
loft.
if I had rented a loft, I'll stay right there. If I had rented a loft and I had one customer today, not in the last hour, but today,
Okay.
there's a lot of things. It's called preparation. You prepare. If you have a team, you prepare. You don't, oh, we don't have anybody else. And yes, we got a lot of stuff to talk about because you talk in practice, not during the game. So what you want to do, there's a lot of things that needs to be said in free time. Because let's just say, for instance, you have a salon, and from the time you open the door to the time you close it, it's banging up in there. That means that who's ever on your team, they have to know what to do because we don't have time to talk about it now.
Right, but you have a scenario for the people who your responses are really great for people like a Ladosha. But we have people in this chat who really want to have a salon and a barbershop and a nail place and a skincare. And Cheryl and Ivan, they cannot seem to build a clientele. They can't get a person to come back. What can they do to help get that? Because the person is saying, I told my sister to come. I told my coworkers, but nobody's coming through the door. What do you say to that business owner, Cheryl?
What I say to that business owner, they should not be in business because they're going to your revenue has to offset your expenses. And let me be clear. Unfortunately, if you are new or may have been in there 1 or 2 years, you're still at a beauty school or whatever the case may be, or you may be re-entering after doing and you left. The key here is that one of the things, and that's what we're getting ready to do in Houston in the C-suite, right, is that if you don't understand what you are ready for, meaning let's say you have $7,000 worth of revenue, that's $84,000 a year, and the business that you took on is going to generate about 120. Well, even at that point, you still may have to understand if your expenses are going to be, 65, you're still only taking home 30, 40 grand a year. We have to be able to think like business people. Just because you guys are creatives, just because you guys are skilled with your hands, doesn't mean that you are maybe making the right decision in terms of your readiness, your ability to generate revenue, right? And and the question is not the fact that you don't have another client, you don't have another source of income. That is what we're talking about. So in other words, your electric bill is still accumulating while you're waiting for another source of income, which is another client. So clientele is not the same thing. You don't build a clientele in a business. You build a clientele in someone else's business. That's
okay. All right. You build a clientele in someone else's business, and then the hair salon owner gets upset and say, what? You took all my business. Am I right, cosmetologists? Am I right, barbers? Am I right, nail techs? Am I right, estheticians? If the stylist leaves, then the owner is like, y'all took my customers and they want us to sign these stupid no-compete clauses. Where y'all at? Come on, I'm trying to help y'all out, okay? Before you respond to that, Vaughn the Beautician has a question. Please drop your questions in the chat. But before you answer that, Cheryl, right quick, can you share with them right quick how they can help change the narrative about how to grow your salon business, because the chat is pretty full. Here we go, guys. Show them, Cheryl.
Yeah, take that button and press it.
All right. Okay. So it's getting a little thick up in here. And we are trying to help you understand how to grow your barber and salon or your beauty business. And right now, so far, what you've got to do is for sure you have to know the difference between building your clientele and actually having a business model or something before you get started. Also, you want to take the opportunity while you are in the hair salon or the barber shop, wherever you're at, to build your clientele, because our guest, Mr. Ivan Williams and Cheryl Morrow, says if you haven't done that, then to be honest, you're just not ready. No matter how passionate you are, you're just not ready. So Vaughn the beautician asks, is it okay to open our doors at home until we get on our feet to expand? Ivan, you answer, and then Cheryl, you give your answer.
Well, to go back to that studio with the one stylist and the one customer and all of that, you know, and we were talking about Ivan Williams Enterprises Incorporated deals in training, products, service, and promotion.
And so, I don't think they believe you, so I'm gonna show you a picture that there's proof right here. There, Ivan is saying you have to have training. Go ahead.
So that's those are the 4 aspects. If you look at my t-shirt, it says Ivanized. That's promotion. I don't need to be, I can be, Ivanized is everywhere. So, and it was a customer who came up with that. One day she came in and she was going somewhere and they said, well, you know, your appointment, she says, told the lady, girl, I need to be Ivanized. So one of my stylists on my birthday gave me a t-shirt that said, have you been Ivanized? And it started out as a joke. And then before you knew it, everybody wanted to be Ivanized. And you can do it whether you have t-shirts, promotional papers, TV, radio, word of mouth, or whatever it is. But because we have talked about this before, Ladosha, I know for sure, comfortably, that I can do 10 people in one day by myself.
Right,
Nobody.
but the question is, can he do this from home? Can he just start at home before he? Okay,
yes.
So there you is, Ivan. I'm sorry, Vaughn. He says yes.
Yes. Yes. I mean, where did this all start? This started on Easter Sunday with grandmama with the hot iron on the stove, pressing your hair at home. I had a sister, I saw what she went through to get ready to go to church. It starts at home. So if you're a stylist and that's where you start from, is at home.
All right. Okay. So the answer is yes. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm sorry for cutting. The chat is on. Oh my God. There's so many people in the chat on Instagram. I can't even get it going. Cheryl, what would you say to Mr. Ivan says yes. Vaughn the beautician, you can definitely start at home until you get it going. Cheryl, what would be your response to Vaughn the beautician who wants to know, because I don't have any clientele, can I do this at home? Start it at home. And what do you say?
I concur. You can start at home. I think here's the thing. The last part of his question is the most important, and he focuses on until we get on our feet to expand, right? And what he is saying is that, and let me just say this: I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a woman named Annie Malone. And Annie Malone, when you went to Poro College, you not only learned to be an agent, but you also learned how to run a beauty business, right? And she had a principal that went into not only just Poro, but into Avon, uses her business templates. It was Elizabeth Arden used her, and Rubenstein used her, Helena. In the Red Door, and I think Elizabeth Arden used her. All these had some really great salons, but the key here is, Vaughn, the most important part is that one of the things she taught, right, is that you grow twice and 3 times your expense. And so the concept of being at home in the first place is to always keep your rent and your expenses low while you grow, right? And all great business templates came out of lofts in their apartment or a separate room that they had in a separate interest. You guys remember Bliss Spa? Marcia Kilgore did facials in her loft until she grew so much. Then that's when she started Bliss Spa.
So how do they know when it's time? Let's help them out. We're getting somewhere. We got good traction. How do they know, Ivan? So Cheryl is saying now you're ready. You're at home. You got some people in the kitchen. You know, you're at you're in the garage or in the basement. You're not. So when is it time? Okay, now it's time to grow that business. Oh, sorry. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. When are they ready, Ivan?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. When you started the podcast, you were saying that this podcast was for professionals, basically.
Yes.
So I'm assuming I'm going to come from that perspective. Now, I did say, and I agree with what Cheryl just said, and I did say you can start from home, right? But I would admonish any licensed professional to find a salon as soon as possible to apprentice. When I told you I apprenticed with Walter Fontaine, the day that I got there, I couldn't put a roller in your hair. I couldn't blow dry. I couldn't do anything at all. But by the time my career blew up, I remember having lunch with Walter at the Waldorf, and he was saying, you know what? I should have paid more attention to you when you were in the salon. And I told him, that wasn't your job. It was my job to pay attention to you, not for you to pay attention to me. I got as much information as I could. And when I left there, I left with a clientele that I grew and went into business for myself and then continued to expand on that. So I would say to any professional, yes, you can start at home, but look around your city, your town, your wherever, and find somebody that you can apprentice with. And when you grow yourself out of there, then that there is your business. Your business is now.
So you guys are saying you can grow from home, and then you're going to go into a hair salon, and then from the hair salon you're going to grow into or you know, barbershop or whatever. So and then you're going to go into your own space. Is that your another option to grow your business?
Yeah, well,
the person who might be leaving their home is saying, I don't want to lose my clientele. So if I go in and I work for Cheryl Morrow, right, and I got 20 people that I'm really banging at home, and now you're telling me to go in and work for Cheryl? Ew, I ain't about to go work for her. I got all these people, Cheryl. I mean, you all that, but I'm not gonna give her all my money either.
Well, I disagree with that. I believe that we started with business. The word business is bigger than beauty. So the people who come into that salon actually belong to that business. So if the person who's the stylist leaves and those people decide they want to stay right there must be something about your business that they like. So if I were to, like when I left Walters, I don't remember those people saying, okay, we're going with Ivan, so they leave en masse. They don't, that's not how that works. When you get to where you are and whatever, and people find out where you are, and they, oh yeah, there's Ivan, let's go, he's doing this thing. They will come there. But if you are promoting your salon, If you are promoting your business the way you want to, actually the customers belong to the business. Until you actually see a stylist leave and 20 people get up and leave with them, they belong to the business. And that person,
stylist. Wow, that's that's pretty deep. Okay, so Ivan and Cheryl, do you agree with Ivan that you should, before when you have your clientele at home, you should go into another salon or business before you jump out on your own?
Well, there's two things. Is that because some people have enough room where they can get a general contractor and make a separate space, and they're not doing hair in their kitchen, right? And they are creating and if your permits, your city ordinance, lets you do that. And and I'm not talking about a newbie. I'm talking about someone like Vaughn is not just a total newbie, right? He is at least a sophomore and junior, or maybe even a senior into his career, and that being 25 years or whatever the case may be. And if you want to revamp it, or you can, because there's a lot of small businesses in tax credits and the some advantages of doing that. But if you are lack of clientele and even lack of training, then you can create something that at home and customers are used to, and they patronize you. But when you integrate into a salon culture, that is, this is now not just building and extracting the money. You also are creating an investment, and that particular salon culture is investing in you.
So what it sounds like, what you guys are saying is that the new cosmetologist, we have missed that, that we missed that part of going to work in that salon to learn the business first, because we're so anxious to get the customer and the money that we've kind of sacrificed the actual, overarching salon industry just so we can have a whole bunch of customers, is what you guys are saying. And that's very poignant. So we have Vaughn in the chat who's saying, well, how can we grab the customer's attention? Because this is that's some mature stuff, what you guys are saying, that all of us need to think about. But in the meantime, Ivan, how can you grab a customer's attention?
Networking. You have to be involved in your community. Like, for example, when things were slow and whatever it is, and there was nothing really to do, I joined the NAACP. I'm a life member in the NAACP. And the reason I chose the NAACP is because Madam C.J. Walker was one of the first funders of the NAACP. So when you're out in the community and you're involved in your community and you're helping out in different areas and you got your card and say, I have a business over here, you have to be involved in your community. You can't be just in your business with the door closed, hoping somebody.
Okay.
You have to be a part of your community. So
I'm telling you right now, what he's saying is true, because I'm definitely a partner in my community. Cheryl, what's your answer? Do you have how can you grab the customer's attention? Ivan says, network, get out in your community and stop sitting behind those chairs being so smug and whatever. Okay, so Cheryl, how can you grab the customer's attention?
Well, one of the things that about his question is how do you grab their attention? At the end of the day, it's not about what you can do for them. They don't know what you can do for them until you ask questions. And I like surveys. I like gyms. I like yoga. I like to the point where, because you don't know what they want. And one of the things about networking, even when you go to a party, you can network. But if you don't have the conversation and the publicity and your flyers and whatever the case may be, or your specialty. But you have to survey. And we say this even when we have the podcast on Monday morning. Monday morning. You have to make sure when you grab their attention, you have to speak their language. And surveys.
Can you give an example? Give an example of what you're talking about. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. And let's just say this around your particular area. And one of this, and I always go back to Annie Malone, right? We focus on, let's say you passing out a flyer that you got a new place and whatever the case may be. And you go out and you go downtown, right? And that's approximately maybe 2.5, maybe 5 miles away from your home. Problem is that you didn't go upstairs, you didn't go next door, and you didn't go across the street. And the point is that you don't, when you survey your area, you find out that there's some gyms, or you find out that, because, people work out, or yoga studios, or you find out where women are, and you ask questions. Have a survey, and you can do flyers, because guess what? If everybody's around and they have braids, why would you talk them into hair color, or why would you talk them into something that the area does not call for? And so when you don't know, in terms of networking, I like research. You got to do, your research.
Okay, so Cheryl is saying,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Cheryl is saying, know your audience, all right, okay, and you don't have to venture far out. You can go right where you are. Ivan is saying, network. You are an extension of your community. Get out into your community and get involved. Okay, so we're talking about how to grow your business. I think we're getting somewhere. We're getting some good nuggets. So Ivan, but let's go into the other part that I always hear when people they open up their hair salon, they can't seem to get any customers because in their mind they feel like there just aren't a lot of people who want their hair done anymore, especially with the natural hair movement. And so here's a clip of a young lady who's giving a suggestion of how you can get those customers just when you think there aren't any customers. Here is what she's going to recommend.
I'm so tired of y'all ask how to be a client. Tell them give you one each solution. Some of you may agree, some of you may not agree what it is, but a lot of these folks, how they gonna know? Tell them motherfuckers you booked up. People fall hard, they gonna do what everybody else do. Make a post say, I do too, I got 2 spots left, I get you some spots to get fee. You know why they wonder why everybody else comes to you, especially you beginning, and them prices cheap, and you say you booked up, they coming. Especially if you showing your work, like I told y'all last video. Show your work and say you booked up. Them motherfuckers are coming. Free game, listen if you want.
I love it.
I love that TikTok. So she said, Ivan, everybody out here saying it ain't no customers out here. I've been doing that. I'm posting. I'm doing something. And she said, you know what? Just lie.
So
just lie and say you booked up. Lower your prices and just say you're booked. Cheryl want to jump in on that, and then Ivan, you come in after her.
No, but what did she do? And so when but what I'm saying is, what did she do in that exercise? Okay, that was called publicity, not advertising, not public relations, none of that, not branding, not marketing. She did a publicity stunt, right? And so when you learn at the C-suite and what we teach at the Afro Hair Science Summit, the key is to be able to learn the difference in these techniques. And she piqued their interest by taking something away from them. Now, that was done on social media. That was not done in her community, of course, right? But I love the tactic, the publicity tactic. That was
all right. So that's one way. Cheryl said you got to get your publicity going. Stop being shy. I don't like social media. I don't know. My teeth ain't right. My boobs are. I'm too black. My nose and my hair. I'm broke. Ivan, do you agree with her? If you want to build that clientele, just lie. Drop your prices and lie and say I'm booked. I'm booked. I can't. I'm so booked. I can't even get y'all up in here, and they gonna start coming. What do you say? Is that how you can build some business there?
Well, first of all, I don't like to lie, so I don't like that word too much. But you know.
Okay, fake it till you make it. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I like that. But you know, you were talking about you took my customers, right? And in New York, I was on 57th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, and it costs a lot of money to be right there. I was there. Donald Trump came after me, but it costs a lot of money to be there, so I had to be on point all the time. Now, this salon, whenever you read about La Zebra, it starts out by saying posh, plush. When you went in there, my ex-wife started this business. She wasn't a hairdresser. She was an actress. And she would go to beauty salons, and she couldn't find a black beauty salon that would give her the kind of ambiance that her white counterparts would get. So she took her money and built one. And lo and behold, who showed up but me, who was actually a hairdresser, right? Now, this is what I know about customers, right? I know that there's only so many people you can do in a day, a week, a month, and a year. Period. Dot. I'm talking about one person. Now, if you try to do over that, then you will wind up giving your money that you made to a medical organization because you will kill yourself. So there's enough out here for everybody. So they need to get rid of that part about this is my customer, whatever. I was booked all day, every day for 10 years straight for sure. I know that much. So, and I don't know who the customer. One time I had so many customers that I told the receptionist, raise my prices so that it would discourage them from coming. They was like, we don't care how much it costs, we want ours. Right?
I want to testify that is very true. The higher you raise your prices does not mean you can kind of slow those books down. I just want to testify that does not work.
So you know, as far as promoting and all of these, you don't have to do crazy stuff. All you have to do is practice, practice, practice. The formula is practice, study, faith. Practice your craft first. Some people have it backwards. They go study, practice, faith. So they steady reading all the time, but they ain't practicing enough. Practice first, study next, and have faith that what you're doing is going to work out. And that's where you should be focused on. You should not be focused on, let me come up with some scheme or jump off the building in this parachute.
So no publicity stunts, okay? But you can be a little crafty. Theo says, what's up, Ivan? How you doing? He called you Mr. Detroit. So we got Theo is in the chat. We also have King of Lock. Some super duper shout outs right quick. We have Sass Smith lighting up the world. The real Gook. Sir Pooh again is in the chat. Miss B's healthy hair. She came in and she bum rushed the chat last week. We just cannot forget how that went down. So there's a lot of people over on Instagram. We are so appreciative of you guys. We got a few more minutes before we wrap it up. So we got a lot covered by way of how to grow your business. Of course, we're talking about team building. We're talking about understanding the difference between your business and getting clientele. And if you haven't learned anything so far, you've got to get your business in order. And as much as you hate working for or at the hair salon, working for or at the barbershop, working for or at the nail salon, working for or inside the skin spa, they're saying you need to get into that space so that you can understand how business is ran before you go and open up your own salon and go and rent that loft. You need to make sure you do that. And then, of course, Ivan just dropped some jewels. Last but not least, let's talk about retail. Can you use retail to help grow your business before we wrap this up? Ivan, is that possible?
Absolutely. You can do that because, like I said earlier, when you're doing a consultation with a client, they are with their hair more than you are. So once you decide on a plan or a direction that you're going with that, there are things that, not unless, I mean, if they want to come to you every day or every week, that's fine. But that's normally not the case. So there's certain things that they need to do at home, and it's nothing more than shampoo your hair. I see you have the picture up. This was in GQ, and it was a story about packaged goods, because I was selling so much shampoo and conditioner. I'm telling the customers, this is what we need to do to get this mink coat on your head. And so we're going to work together as a team. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what you're going to do. And so you develop it. And I remember a lot of models, like you showed that running picture, it looked like. People would ask, they would say to me, where are you finding these models? Because people in New York, they go to the agencies and different things to do their promotions. It was like, they are my customers.
Wow.
They were sitting there, and you called and said, we want to do a magazine thing on you. Can you do it? Yeah. And when I hang up, I'll go, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to send a card for you to go over here and do this. And they were my customers. But before that would come up.
Right quick. Who are these people in this picture? I just want you to name drop.
Well, of course, that's me.
Yeah, here's Ivan with the curl.
And that, the person next to me is my ex-wife, who we were business partners together in New York.
Good Lord,
and then next to her is Pauletta Washington, who is Denzel Washington's wife.
Woo,
and
woo-hoo.
The other young lady, she was a model in New York that I used. As a matter of fact, she was a customer too. But the whole idea is, when, like I was telling you before, where you start from natural and you expand, you make the hair healthy. We're talking about health and beauty. We're talking about being like a doctor. So as you're developing the clients, Pauletta's hair, when I started, she couldn't have done that. But over a period of time of her being on time, doing what she was supposed to do and me doing what I'm supposed to do, when the call came in, she was getting ready to pay to go home. And I said, where are you going? I said, can you go over here and take these pictures? And that she was ready. When I looked at her, I turned and said, she's ready. I don't even have to go with her. There's no way she can mess this up. She can go by herself if she wants to. So that's what I'm saying. You need to think about, number one, health and beauty. And then number two, you have to think about teamwork, because, you think about what they're talking about, Oklahoma City, where they burned down all the black businesses. Well, just think about it. Not too long ago, when we had Soul Train was owned by Don Cornelius Incorporated. It was sponsored by Johnson Products, a black company. It was promoted by Ebony and Jet. The artists came from these were all black things, and none of them exist today. You know why? Because people want to I want to do my own thing. I don't want to come work for Ladosha. I want to come and work for Ladosha, so that when I get to be the superstar rent-a-car and they say, well, where'd you come from? Ladosha. Because that validates me and it validates you.
Cheryl, what you say about using products to help grow your business? And then Ivan, I want to show a picture a little bit. So what do you say about using products to help grow your business as we wrap this up?
Business is based on revenue, guys. And in order to grow it, you want to be able to give your customer a full package, a one-stop. Do not let them drop any money in anybody else's business if you can.
Can you repeat that one more time, please?
Right. If you stop your customer while they're sitting in your chair, you have a complete comatose almost person sitting in your chair for at least 90 minutes. You need to give them what you have done in maintenance and maybe an extra in shampoo. If you can give them Q-tips, give them Q-tips. If you can give them earplugs, give them earplugs. Be able to give them lip gloss, give them lip gloss. But at the end of the day, they trust you with their image, with their persona, with their likeness. You are one of the reasons why they get out of the bed and they face the world with their base foot forward and their best face forward.
All right.
You have to service that. So product, and I'm not just talking about creamwear. I'm not just talking about a soft good. I'm talking about anywhere. I mean, because I went to Ladosha's, the Revan's design team, and I picked up a few, specs. My point is that everything that I need to look good in terms of my identity and image and persona, if I can get that and deposit that revenue, and if you can be able to if you may not even have to plug up, and if you can do product sales,
all right.
There's anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be based on hair. It can be based on lip gloss or chapstick or whatever the case may be.
All right. So get your retail in order. And like Cheryl said, it doesn't just have to be that. We're talking about growing your business. In conclusion, I see you guys are talking about having a real good vision, not only for yourself and what you want to do, but also for your business and for your customers. So I'm going to share a picture of this young lady here, and I want you to talk about this vision here that you saw for this young lady here. So we all know who this is. This is Diana Ross, the boss. Can you talk about this image, this vision that you saw for this woman that we only known for all her big hair? This is probably one of the only, there's a lot of pictures, but this is one that clearly shows Diana Ross, the boss, in her, and just in the raw. So let's talk about this image, this vision that you saw for this young lady here.
Well, I was telling you that when I first apprenticed, that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't put a roller in your hair. I couldn't blow dry. I couldn't do anything, right?
Right.
But what I did have in the theater of my mind was a reference of every woman that I had ever met in my whole life, whether it was my mother, my classmates, or whatever. So I was always producing in the theater of my mind. Now, there are people that swear to God, they have put it in print, that I know Diana Ross, I did Diana Ross's hair and whatever. And I'm from Cleveland, and Detroit is right next door, and I've never been to Detroit in my life. But there are people that swear that. So Diana Ross was a muse for me. And when I saw the movie Mahogany, and she was at the fountain, she was standing there, and the photographer pushed her in the water, and she came up and he started taking pictures of her. And I looked at that and I said, now he just did that, but what if you did it on purpose? So I came up with the idea that what we were going to do, and this was in our training program, and they had just come out with gentle treatment hair relaxer, and we wanted to test the no lie lie. And so we told everybody we did a promotion. Everybody bring us a gentle treatment relaxer and $5, and we'll relax your hair, shampoo it, condition it, cut it, take a little mineral oil and shake it out, and send you on your way. And they were saying, Ivan, no woman is going to let you send her out like that. I said, well, you watch and see. So when I did, and we called it the Splash and Dash.
Wow.
When we did it, it blew up. That's why I wound up in Gentleman's Quarterly, because of this. And then Diana Ross turned around, and this cover that she did it based on the promotion that I did. So everybody thought that I did it. I did get the idea from her, but I did it with intention, not some happenstance kind of way. So Diana Ross, to me, is the boss. And people knew that, like when Diana Ross was in the park, and people were calling for appointments. The receptionist say, you know, that boy ain't gonna be here, you know, so you might as well pick another day. Or at Radio City, Diana Ross has standards. She makes things sure that everything is a certain way. So whether she was at the US Open tennis court doing a concert and it looked like she told the crew to put the moon up in the sky, or at Radio City, she is an ultimate but a lot of stuff that I did, people would see it and they would see Diana Ross, even though Diana Ross is not in the picture. And they swear that's where that came from. But that particular one was, I made more money off of that than anything that I've ever done. Défrisage was number one. Défrisage put me on the map. That was natural hair. And then when I went to the Splash and Dash, that it was like, that's how I got to meet the president of Johnson Products, because he wanted to know who was moving all of this product that wasn't on his staff. So he came to New York to find out. Right. And so I'm just saying that you can have people that inspire. There are a lot of people out here that's great, but when I see it, I say, if you cut that, you know, the one in the movie with Diana Ross, there was no haircut involved in that. There's a haircut involved there. So I'm just saying, you might find somebody that you Beyonce or Rihanna or something, so and say, I'm gonna take it.
Be inspired is where you're at.
Be fired up every day.
Every day, all day. So we're going to conclude this. Ivan, you have really given everybody an hour and a half of how to grow your barber and salon business. It is not what I thought it was going to be. I was looking for the step one. All you got to do is step two. And all you got to do is, as you guys can see, business is the operative word, is what Ivan wants you guys to understand. And Cheryl is not in her head like preach, preach, preach. It's too much emphasis put on the hair and the customer and the money, but there's zero emphasis on the word, the business. He's also saying, in conclusion, be inspired. Here we're using Diana Ross, and like he said, it could be Beyonce, it could be anybody. Be inspired and be excited every day behind that chair. I hope you guys can see a little bit of what I do in my salon every day because of Ivan. I meet with Ivan probably 2 to 3 times a year. Ivan gives me books to read. He gives me activities to do. He's a true mentor and he holds me accountable. I am not making this up. Cheryl, let's wrap. Oh, by the way, the book of the month again is Obsessive Branding Disorder, and this is by Lucas Conley. And so I'm just going to read a little passage right quick before Cheryl gives us a closing thought. I have a little note. Oh, shoot. Did I get it? Sorry, guys. Okay. So here it is. He's just kind of highlighting when Ivan was talking about like brands, and Cheryl is saying you guys got to be careful about sending your money out the door. You know, get that retail going. He says by the most recent count, 23 of Procter & Gamble's more than 250 brands earned revenues of $1 billion a year.
All right.
You hear that? Your brand can get you some moolah. Procter & Gamble had 23 out of 250 that was earning more than $1 billion a year. Are you sending some of your billions to some of Procter & Gamble or any other thing? That's something to think about. Again, our book of the month is Obsessive Branding Disorder. Cheryl, Ivan, any closing thoughts before Cheryl wraps us up?
Well, yes. First of all, support your local hairstylist, beauty salon or barbershop. Start going to the barbershop. And to piggyback with what Cheryl said about business and all of that, stop focusing on the money. Money is a direct result of what you do. If you don't have any money, it's because you're not doing anything. So focus on what you're doing and money is a direct result of that.
Spoken like
If
a
you
true
can-
elder.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he just saying, guys. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, I was just saying that it has to be that way. A lot of people focus on money, and that the people out here that you know that are the richest, the Michael Jacksons, the Jay-Z's, the LeBrons, and whoever else it is, they might tell you they're a billionaire, but I guarantee you, if you can count it, you don't have it. So what you have to do is those people, LeBron focuses on his craft. Jay-Z and all of those, whatever it is, they focus on that. Focus on what you're doing and wake up surprised in the morning when you go to your phone and check your bank account and you have a big chunk of that $1 billion that Ladosha was talking about. It's because you are focused on what you're doing, and money is a direct result of that. And
All
support
right.
your local beauty salon.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. That was powerful. Cheryl, close us out on how to grow your business. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Instagram, we love everybody in the chat. It's me, our clock. We have our de facto. There she is. There she is, Miss Esther. Can we please give Miss Esther a big round of applause? Like we said, if it wasn't for her, there would most certainly be no Ivan and none of these other wonderful people. So, Esther, we just about being inspired. So she calls us out with a closing thought of how to grow your business. I'm going to announce the surprise.
Well, and because I've enjoyed too, so I agree with you, Esther. That it was a great story. So I'm enjoying listening, but I do want all of us, each and every one of us, to realize that the beauty business, especially while you're in the salon, it's the only business that depends on your participation, and especially at the early stages. And you think about, and I actually got the name, Ivan, it's George Bruckner of Harris Fashion East. And these men and women have spent many years building their reputation, that intangible, invisible value, right? And that value is impressed and imprinted and embedded in the experience. And so Ivan, it was talking about that 360-degree beauty professional. And most of that is not physical. It is something so much more passionate and creative in terms of a milieu, melting pot. And so I think that in the salon environment, that is where that's created. It's not really created on a solo. You don't really get, because I remember watching how my dad or Gene Atkinson or Rudy Townsend or James Harris or Olive Benson, how they held their hands and how they did things. And it's so much more a part of the enrich investment that you're investing in yourself, because you are experiencing the customer just as much as they're experiencing you, and building good businesses that become legendary. And that is so much more harder, but it's so much more of a payoff. You get to pass it on to your children. You get to pass it on to your community. And, and that is that support your local, because maybe someone in your community is building a legacy salon, and to be a part of it. And so hope to see you guys in Houston. We're going to be in Houston.
All right. Okay, let's give her a big round of applause. I think in conclusion, what you guys are saying is that basically we got to level this thing up, and we can't level our industry up on money alone. So if you're entering the beauty industry because you got to get some coins, we hope that you have concluded this is not the industry to do that. Okay, it just ain't gonna happen, y'all. And I know it's a lot of videos and stuff out here. People talk about how they're making money, but Ivan and Cheryl said that's probably not going to happen. But what is going to happen is this right here. We are pleased to announce that y'all give Cheryl and I a very super duper big round of applause right quick. We dropped some hand claps in the chat. All right, as we wrap this up, it is official that we are going to take the Afro Hair Science Summit to the Beauty Under One Roof show. This is happening in Houston, October 5th, 6th, and 7th. So we're going to go live there. We're going to be, Cheryl's going to teach a class. And so it's going to be all about elevating your business. That is what this particular theme for the Beauty Under One Roof Beauty and Barber show is happening in Texas, Houston, Texas. We are still going to host the Afro Hair Science Summit here in Cleveland a few weeks afterwards, and Cheryl is going to work on the graphic for that. So be on the lookout for us in Houston. We're coming. And so, you're right. She said it's sad because it's happening with the nursing industry as well. We know cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bills, y'all. But that's actually what's killing the beauty industry is us just going after the money. And Ivan is saying we can do better and business first before beauty, which I'm with you. This has been very, very eye-opening. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Ivan, I appreciate you so very much. And so we're going to let you go, and I will be meeting with you, and we'll take some pictures, and I'll post them. And so, Ivan, you are the best. Can we give Ivan, everybody, a big round of applause? They're already in the chat giving you. You held this down with us, Ivan. All right. We hope you can come back and see us again. Cheryl, you know what we say. Everybody, you guys know what we say when we are signing off. We're going to be back next week, and you guys better get ready, because if you thought Ivan was the bomb.com, y'all ain't seen nothing till y'all heard from the one and only Mr. Chris Blue. Chris Blue is the owner of the Christopher John Salon, located here in the greater Cleveland area. And so he's going to be talking about the mass exodus from salons to the lofts. Woo, this gonna be funky dope. And so we thank you guys so very much. And you know what we say when we're signing out, right? We talk about good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Thank you again, Danny Michael, for the super chat. We appreciate that. You all have a wonderful night. Instagram, oh my God, we love you so very much. Y'all come back and join us Monday evening, and then come back with us next Thursday. Ivan, I love you with all of my heart.
Mega dittos.
All right, mega dittos. Sure, I love you too. You guys,
absolutely. It was wonderful to meet you, Ivan.
Nice seeing you again too.
And don't forget, guys, you can check Ivan out inside our documentary, right? It's called The Narrative, The Plight of Afro Hair. So go check Ivan out. He has some wonderful things to say about his experience in the industry. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.